much longer do you have to wait before you get your breakthrough? What is it you're waiting for? A job, a relationship, a new car, for any Detroit team to ever win a championship again? Well, what is it that you're about to give up on? Well, my name is Ron Brooks, and I'm your guide this summer as we explore some of life's greatest questions. Today, we're going to spend a few minutes on one of those huge questions about character. How persistent are you? One of my all-time favorite stories is told by Napoleon Hill. It's a story, it's in his book, Think and Grow Rich. And in the book, he tells of a young man who, full of energy and optimism, begins to mine gold in Colorado. After mining for many months, the man gives up. And he sells his claim and all of his equipment to a junk man. The junk man picks up the axe and begins digging where the young man had stopped. 3 feet later, the junk man hit a rich vein of gold and became unbelievably rich. It is a story about persistence and how close you are to your own breakthrough. So, how persistent are you? It's a critical question that will decide ultimate success or failure in many areas of your life. Jesus tells the story of a widow who was seeking justice from a judge, but the judge kept ignoring her. The story is found in Luke chapter 18, the first 8 verses, and Jesus describes the judge as not caring about people, God, or pretty much anything else. And so the judge ultimately gives up and decides to give the widow justice, not because it's the right thing to do. I love the quote. For a while he refused, but later he said to himself, though I have no fear of God and no respect for anyone, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will grant her justice. You know, in our rapid fire society where everything is next day delivery and on demand, persistence and patience are not real high on any of our lists. If you're thinking to yourself that you're not caught up in this I want it and I want it now kind of culture, then let me just ask you this. Have you ever found yourself in front of the microwave, waiting for it to get done and wondering to yourself, why is it taking so long? Yeah, that's what I thought. Jesus is teaching a lesson that may have more application today than it did in his own day. In his day, life moved slower, so it was natural to be more patient and persistent. We have this human quirk to give up too quickly, which knock on the door by the widow finally created her breakthrough and made that judge open the door and give in to her demands. Here's an interesting statistic. 48% of all salespeople make 1 call and stop. 25% make 2 calls and stop. 15% make 3 calls and stop. 12% go back and back and back and back again. And those 12% make 80% of all the sales. See, here's the thing. You never know what knock on the door will give you your breakthrough. You never know when you are 3 feet from realizing your dream. Our natural tendency is to set a goal, and when we run into a snag, try a different direction. If that doesn't work, well, then we give up. It's not what you know or who you know. It's who you know. Ever said that? Or they were just in the right place at the right time and they got lucky. Ever thought that? I like what J.C. Penney says about that. He says this: don't depend on the word luck unless there is a P in front of it. What is your pluck level at right now. Certain things, often the most important and fulfilling ones, can be achieved only through perseverance. Making a baby is easier than raising a child. Falling in love and getting married is simple. Staying married, well, that's a whole lot harder. Let's make this personal. Think about something that you are tempted to give up on right now in your life. What is it that's leading you to feel that way? You ever quit something in the past and then later regretted it? Do you want to feel that way again? I mean, sometimes we confuse persistence with waiting, but persistence is active. The woman kept knocking at the door. What can you do right now to get a little closer than 3 feet from your goal? What door do you need to keep knocking on? Maybe you need to change doors, start knocking on the back door or the side door to get into the house. Now, sometimes the wisest decision is to pull the plug, admit defeat, and move on. Sometimes we need to retreat in order to fight another day on another more favorable field of battle. But the greatest error in life is giving up too soon, becoming a victim of circumstance, and whining your way through life. I just never got the breaks. One of the all-time greatest films is On the Waterfront. It has Marlon Brando's character, Terry Malloy, lament, "I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender." The most common cure for regret is persistence. And while persistence doesn't always pay off, giving up rarely does. It's another quote I really enjoy, and that's from President Calvin Coolidge. He said this: "Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing's more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, 'Press on,' has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race." One of the most common mistakes that we make is that we give up too soon. We can make a mistake by thinking that success is due to some genius, some magic, something or other which we just simply do not possess. Success generally is due to holding on and not letting go. Kind of like this, one of my favorite pictures of all time. The legendary coach, Vince Lombardi, really ties this all up for us in kind of a bow. Here's what he said. He said, "I have never known a man or a woman worth his salt or her salt, who in the long run, deep down in his heart or her heart, didn't appreciate the grind, the discipline. I firmly believe that a person's finest hour, this greatest fulfillment to all one holds dear, is that moment when he or she has worked their heart out in a good cause and lives exhausted on the field of battle, victorious." Well, just a few closing thoughts. What are some things in your life right now that are worth fighting for? What is making perseverance hard for you right now? And what attitude or value do you need to adjust so that you don't end up saying woulda, shoulda, coulda, or if only? Now, if this has been helpful, be sure to share it with others, please. And be sure to like us and subscribe on our channel, our YouTube channel. And we'll see you next time here Make sure you don't miss a single edition of Life's Greatest Questions. Because when you start asking better questions, you start living a better life. See you next time.